figures or interesting plots in there. But the method I'm going to show you, very interesting, very fascinating pictures I can show you. So to put in there, like in the literature review part. So that will be enriched in the sense that it won't be like the usual literature review section of the thesis. Very interesting with a lot of figures and other things, and very specific. Like that chapter you can do. I mean, if you start doing it, if you're a fresher, you're just doing it, you can do now yourself one chapter. You can write about all this. And the third thing that is the important thing. Usually, literature review part nobody publishes, right? So you won't publish the literature review part. But here, with this method, you can even publish the literature review part. So what you do for the literature review, you can publish. That is what I am going to show you. Like, I mean, I'll show you some purpose also. What you can do. What is this about? There are different ways you can do literature review, like systematic methods of literature review. So why it is called a systematic? Because usually, if you do the literature review, whatever the paper that may come across, you will just read it, right? So if you just go to Scholar and search the word systematic literature review methods, there are a lot of papers we can see like literature review. And most of the papers are literature review in a particular area. Like here, see for example, this second one, safety in vehicle platooning. Systematic literature review. They have reviewed the literature related to this particular area. In this area, like, most of the thing is on a particular area. Like I mean, there are papers which is giving bit of methodology also. See how to do. See, this is one such paper, like systematic reviews, rationale for systematic review. Why should you do systematic? Why it is called systematic? I mean, why the other usual review is not systematic? And I'll come to that, this kind of things. And there are methods. So as a research student, you have to, this is mainly I'm talking or addressing the students, especially the freshers. You have to, the one problem with all the research reviews, all the research scholars is that it is difficult to read the papers, right? If you're asked to do some research, you'll be happily doing your research work. But reading papers is the most difficult thing. Usually, we don't read much actually, but you have to read. Then your confidence level will go up, and not only that, you can put your work in perspective, like what others have done. And so, reading papers is one of the most important thing while you are doing research. Nowadays, it's not that difficult. When we started work, there was no scholar.google or abstracts were not available online. There were a lot of difficulties actually, but these days it's very easy. I mean, without any subscription or anything, if you simply go to scholar.google, you'll get all the abstracts with a particular keyword. And then if you want to get paper, maybe if you're in a university, because UGC is paying for all these journals, you can download papers. Even if otherwise, you can write to the author for a soft copy, they will send you a soft copy. So it is that easy nowadays to get information. So whether we use it properly or not is the only question. Like there are, so this is there are why a guidance on conducting a systematic research review. So these papers you have to read. I mean, before that, I should also tell you something, because you are research scholars. How do you read a research paper? If you search to go to Google and search, how do you do a literature review? How do you read a research paper? I mean, for that also there are a lot of tips and guidance. Like, see for example, whatever you are doing research in any area, like. Any area with your keyword, if you search, you will get lakhs of papers. 1 lakh, 2 lakhs papers you will get in your area. Like, I mean, as a supervisor, your supervisor might have told you that you read, you do the literature review. Is it possible to read all this 1 lakh or 2 lakhs paper? It is humanly impossible. I will show you some softwares. You only need to click few places. Like, it will show you which are the paper you have to read. Of this 1 lakh papers, the software will select around 20, 30 papers. If you read that 20, 30 papers, you will come to know the whole area, how the whole area was evolved, what are the emerging areas, everything it will give as an evolution of the subject. So reading those papers is enough to get an overall picture about the domain in which you are working, and you can even relate to what others have done, other work and all. So that is what I'm talking about. So, but you have to read these kind of reviews also. What are the method? How to write a literature review? But if you can write a reviews, usually literature review people do, not initially actually. So how do you? You might have read a lot of reviews actually. Usually reviews are written by professors or scientists who has got more than 10 years of experience. Because if you are working in an area for more than 10 years, you will come to know the whole of the domain, like what are all the important work and who are all working, everything you will get. But these days, I mean, you need to have a bit of experience. Usually, senior professors are only writing reviews, actually, not really freshers. But these days, because of the availability of all the literature free, and because of all these computation tools, even you can write a literature review. That is what I am going to tell you. So next thing is actually even you can publish the literature review. I will show you some of the papers for actually. So this paper, if you think about it, before going to this is called the citation network analysis of organic LEDs, light emitting diodes. So he has written a citation network analysis. I will show you what is a citation network analysis. I mean, citation network, how do you do the analysis of all this with free softwares? Everything is free, like free softwares, and I'll show you how to do that actually. Okay. I mean, there are free softwares and everything. Even it's kind of a literature. So this paper, the whole paper, the work shown in this paper, you can do it within 1 hour. That is what I do. The work you can do it in 1 hour. Okay, so if you are very leisurely, you can do it in 2 days, right? Even if you are more bitty, what you call lazy, and then you can finish within 1 week. The whole of this work. I'll show you this paper, Citation Network Analysis of Organic LEDs. Right? So this is a paper we told 2009 paper. I'll show you some more papers actually. So he has collected the literature on organic LEDs. You know what is an organic? Usual LEDs are there. They are used for lighting purpose as well as display technology, right? So both the light emitting diodes are used. So this is organic LED when it was introduced, and when you are going for buying mobile phone, and they might have advertised, organic LED, OLED, something you might have seen. So this is used for display technology also. So he has written a review kind of thing, and a good thing is that he has published it actually, the review. So this paper, everything of this paper, I will show you how to do that actually. So only this is just 5 clicks away. If you collect all the data, put it in a software, click 5 times, you can get the whole of this. Then only a little bit of content analysis. You have to go and read a few abstract, then you can do this. Okay. So the main result here is something like this. This is the main result in this paper. This figure. Hope you can see. Okay. This is the main figure. Each dot is a research paper. And see, this is a research paper, this is a research paper, this is a research paper. And the line showing means each dot is a research paper. So line means one paper is cited in another paper. So if paper A is a dot, paper B is a dot, if the first paper is cited in the second one, we'll put a line. Like that, if you collect all the papers in organic LED, we won't download the PDF, the paper as such. We just download the bibliographic data like the title, others, and references, etc. So if you put in a software, that will create a figure for you, like this same figure. So you don't have to manually do this. So the line shows means one paper is cited in another paper. So then there is something, what he has done is something called clustering actually. So this is a network clustering. So the different sections are there. All these papers are on organics. How do you know these papers are organics? You select the top 5 or 10 papers and read the abstract. Then you will come to know which area that papers are about. Like that is on organics actually. And this area is about composites and applications. Then all this big chunk of this is on polymers. And here one area, like light curing biomaterial. If you look at it, see, for example, one paper is here on polymers. Citing that paper, somebody has written another paper here, like that is on light curing biomaterials, one paper. So around that, there are a lot of activities. In the sense, there are a lot of papers coming in this area thereafter by citing that particular paper. So, I mean, by looking at it, you can know this is an emerging area. This paper was published in 2009. So at that time, light curing biomaterials were an emerging area. So if you have started working in your PhD and you want to work in an emerging area, how do you identify an emerging area? What is the emerging area in your science? See, simply take plant science. What is the emerging area in plant science? Is it tissue culture or something else? Or what is the emerging area in your in life science or botany? You want to identify, you can do this actually. This is an emerging area, light curing biomaterial. Polymers, organics, and a bit already developed. A lot of papers are there, but this is an emerging area, so it may grow. So you can work in the front end technology of your area, like you can identify that, and we can do research on that. So without even the help of a supervisor, right? What is the purpose of the supervisor? Usually supervise, and they will tell you these are the emerging areas. They will help you out, but here you yourself as a research scholar can identify the emerging area by looking at this. So this is an emerging area. And if you look at here, polymerization, that is also going to be emerged right now. Polymerization by just nucleus only, maybe it will be emerging. And there are other methods, computer softwares and algorithms, which will tell you which are the emerging papers or the latest papers, like what are the major papers. And this itself is a research area, like a lot of people are working on that. I'll show you some of the other papers also. Okay, then, and this paper was written by, this is written by Kajikawa. This is written by Yuva Kajikawa. He is basically a chemical engineer. Did his master's in Japan and went to Australia for postdoc and came back, and now he is working in Innovation Policy Research Center as a professor. He used to publish a lot of papers in this kind of papers. He will take, this is a citation network analysis of organic entity. Then he has worked, if you go and search for Yuva Kajikawa on Scholar, you will see what are his papers like. He will take antibiotics. Then he will do a citation network analysis of antibiotics. Then I select another area, write again, do that. So you can write several reviews in different areas by using this methodology. That is what I'm going to tell you today. Okay. And if he can do, why can't you? So that is my question. Okay, these are all simple techniques. Some softwares are there. All the softwares are free. Only the data you have to collect is the only problem. Like collecting data is the only problem. Otherwise, everything is free. All the software. So collecting data will tell you in the university campuses and all. It is not difficult, but others are with your personal internet connection, you may not download data. Apart from that, this is a very simple method. I mean, you can do it. And one more thing I will tell you, I have put a what you call MOOC course on this citation network, and I will show you the link. The free course, like all this what I'm going to tell today, the softwares, everything introduced, you can go and see. I have made a screenshot, like the whole procedure I have shown, where to click, how to save file data, you write everything. I have put all the software, how to do, how to install everything. A complete course I have put. I will give the link at the end of it, so you can even go through it and learn. So Yuva Kajikawa is a man. He is writing a lot of articles. So we can also do. And we have also done some papers similar to that. This is one such paper, like this is one of our paper, like from conventional e-governance to e-democracy, tracing the evaluation of e-governance research and using citation network, using network analysis. Okay, this is also there. Like the main result in this paper is like the methodology, everything is explained here. This is the main result actually. So I mean, when we search the domain, yeah. Okay, anything want to speak? Right. Okay, so if you search with the keyword like e-governance with the keyword, if you search, there will be 1 lakh or 2 lakh papers in e-governance. You cannot read all those things. But if you put it in this one, the software, it will find the main path of evolution. The evolution, the algorithm, everything is there in Wikipedia. I'll show you if you are interested in the computer aspect of it. But as a researcher in other field of science, you don't have to learn the computer science. And the software is there, you have to just click, it will do. And when you put all the 1 lakh purpose details, the bibliometrics of all the 1 lakh purpose in the software, it will select a few purpose like this actually. So this is called the emerging. The first paper in this area was this one. This paper, this paper, this one are the first papers in this area. By citing this, some has written another paper like this one. It has evolved. There are 1 lakh papers, out of which these are the milestone papers, the key papers, the very, very critical papers in that area. In the sense that they are the what you call most cited critical papers in this area. Then when it reached here, it slightly diverged into one area. Some people went into this direction. Some people started doing research in another area. But when it came here, they also merged into the mainstream of research. And slowly it evolved, and like these are the 2 emerging papers. We did this work in 2018, I think. So up to 2017, I think. These 2 are the emerging papers. So these 2 papers, if you read, you will come to know what is the emerging trend, what is the most significant work nowadays people are doing, the emerging trend, emerging front of research in this area. So you can identify that. Okay, so that is what it is, the emerging area in this one. And the evolution has different stages actually. Initially, people are working on a particular area, that is why we put it in the 1 color. And then people start working, and slowly the focus of the researchers shifted into some other area, like slightly it went on to a different area, a slightly different area. Again, research focus has changed, shifted, and now there is another area, like the whole path you can get. This is called the global main path actually of e-governance. That you can get. Suppose if you are working on tissue culture, just to go and collect all the data and tissue culture in tissue culture from the Web of Science. So you'll get all the information, all the bibliometric data, the details of the papers from the this one. You'll get. Then you can put in the software. When you put in the software, it will give a figure like this, how this was evolved. So what was the first paper in tissue culture? How even before concept of tissue culture was evolved, there may be some other work, okay, some preliminary kind of thing. Then only it might have went on to a full-fledged area like tissue culture. So slowly it might have emerged. So the first stage, what was the first stage, initial stage of evolution? Then how it evolved? All this we can get, and finally the emerging front end, that also you can get. So like a figure, this is main path. This is, you don't have to know any computer science. You put all this in a software, it will give. Then you can write about it as a review. So this is what called the growth curve actually, growth curve. You simply find the number of papers in each area. In either area, maybe tissue culture, if you're talking about the tissue culture. So in 1990, how many papers were there in tissue culture? 91, how many papers? 92, how many? Just a number of papers. Then usually every technology, the people working in technology focus, they say evolution of a technology, evolution of a science, on branch of science is something like a human being. What is the peculiarity of a human being? Like all over live beings. Initially, when you are born, suppose if you are measuring the height of a child at the first week of birth, second week of birth, like that. When it is an infant and the height won't grow very fast, it will be very slowly growing. When you become an adolescent, the height will become drastically. Then you mature around 20, 25 years. Thereafter, the height will grow as fast. So every week, if you measure the height of a child from birth, it will have this kind of shift. So this is the initial stage, this is the growing stage, this is the maturity stage. So technology is also like that. That is what people are telling. So this is the number of papers in e-governance. When you take the initial years, it is almost started with the 2019, like there were no papers. Maybe 1 or 2 papers were already this area was moving. One thing which you can see is this area has not matured. So there is still a scope for doing further research actually. So it's just in the growing stage. Those are the number of papers, but this is the prediction. This is the prediction. Rest is the prediction. So it will last up to 20, 40, or 30. Up to that much, there is still a scope for doing research. Suppose if you take a number of papers and plot like this, if the number of papers come up to this much, like number tissue culture, all the papers come up to this much actually, then there is no scope for doing further research, because that area has almost saturated. In the sense, whatever is to be known has already been known. What you want to know in that area has already been known, like by number of papers. So there won't be much paper like. So you don't do research work in that kind of area. You simply collect a number of papers year by year, plot it like this. Then it will be like an S curve. If it has leveled up, if the number of here the dot is only up to this much. So if the number of papers coming up to this much, then there is not much further scope for your career in that area. So don't do research in that kind of area. I mean, you can still do if you have a breakthrough, a slightly different aspect of it, nobody has seen in that area, then that area may still go. Otherwise, there is not much to be known because already known. So, I mean, in an ordinary sense, like if you are a visionary or kind of what you call drastic change you can make, fine, it may grow. Otherwise, the number of papers won't increase, and you will not have much scope in that area. So that is one thing you can do. This is okay. So this methodology is here. We have published this in a journal called e-governance in Government Information Quarterly. Right? Okay, so there are some, this is one paper. I can send all these papers, or we can download it. There are beautiful papers. I'll show you how to get these figures for this paper and all. This is another area, like research collaboration, knowledge sharing in e-governance, temporal cause analysis. You can do this kind of. These are all kind of literature review, how the area was evolved. From the website itself, you can get a lot of information. Like we can get beautiful figures also. Like I'll show you some of the figures, or even the other paper. I showed you how it was evolved actually. Then you can find this kind of clusters actually. This is what that Kajikawa has done in organic LEDs, like different subdomain. This also a software will give this kind of figures, clustering and here there is another software which is even better than this actually. See, citation network, what are the main area, so how this was evolved here wise, how the subject was evolved. This is a network, like this is called a citation network. This is a co-author network. Who are the main people working in this area? Who are the main authors in this area? How the area was evolved? How the knowledge was diffused? Who was the first person working in this area? Next, who was the next, and so on. How this area was evolved? Who are the main people working in this area that you can get? These are simple softwares. You can get like very beautiful pictures. Initially, the figure was like this. How it was evolved. Very beautiful pictures you can get. So your literature will be part of your thesis. Literature will be part of the thesis. You can enrich with this kind of figures, and it will give a lot of nice pictures. I'm giving some not just for the aesthetics of it. It is kind of revealing. It will give some kind of idea, and see this one. And the year-wise collaboration, like which countries are collaborating. Here, United States and something like Italy, there's a line means okay, or United States and South Korea, a line is there. That means the one professor from the United States of America and one professor from Korea has compiled and jointly published a paper. So how the area has published, which country is most prominent in this area, this kind of work you can get for all working. And here there are people working in this area. Okay, this kind of figure you can get. And all these figures are given by just simple software, so that you have to do the literature. For that, it can be use. Second, if you properly do it, you can put it in your thesis as a chapter with nice pictures and like everything about the area that you can nicely put. And the third thing is literature part itself, the literature review part itself we can publish. That is what the best thing, that's the best part of it. Actually. That itself we can publish. And another thing I want to say is that the methodology I am going to teach you, the methodology I am going to tell today and tomorrow, are the softwares I am introducing today and tomorrow. All these are free softwares. You can use this for other work also, or your research work also you can use. So before going to literature review, I will tell you about what is a network, a little bit about the theory, and a little bit about our work. Or I'll give an overall picture. Then I'll go to this literature review part, the software network, because we have two days. So what is a network? Citation network. What is a network? Mathematicians call it as a graph. They don't call it as a network, they call it as a graph. There is an area called the graph theory. The same thing mathematicians call it as, sociologists call it as a network, and other people from other branches of science, they call it as network. So it just got two entities. One is a node. This is called a node. This is called a node. This is another node. This is another node. This is again another node. A node means a vertex, right? This one. Then there are connections among these. Suppose we are all on Facebook, and some of among us are friends actually. And you are friends in Facebook. Then I will be a node and you will be a node. If we are friends, there will be a live connection. If we are not friends, there won't be any live. Like that, 2 and 5 are not friends. So that is why there is no live. And these are all friends, so there is a live. In some cases, selves are kind of, I consider myself as my own friend, like, that is this kind of loop. In friendship case, that is not relevant. But in some cases, if something is connected to itself, we can put this kind of thing. That is called a loop. Anyway, this is a graph. Graph has got two entities. One is called a node. Node means this kind of dots. And this is another node or vertex. Mathematicians call it as a vertex. Or socialists call it as actors. Node, vertex, actor. All these are this one. Then there is called the edges. Edges. If there is sometimes arrow is important, sometimes arrow is not important. Actually. So if arrow is important, we'll put an arrow. In the sense, I consider you as my friend, but you don't consider me as a friend. So the friendship is one direction. So then we'll put an arrow. If it is irrelevant. If it is not relevant, we won't put. Okay. So one paper, suppose A is a research paper. This one is a research paper. 4 is another research paper. 4 is another research paper. The paper 4 is in the reference section of this paper. Sorry for that. So, okay, so paper 4 is cited in paper 1. Paper 4 is cited in paper 1. That means paper 4 is in the reference section of paper 1. So we call it as paper 1 cites paper 1 cites paper 4. Or paper 4 is cited in paper 1. Then there is an arrow. So when these are all papers, it is called a citation network. Okay. So that is what. This has got a lot of application. The same software, same methodology you can also apply right now. This is gene network. This is a research paper, effects of time point measurement on reconstruction of a gene regulatory network. This is a paper, like here also there is a network. So this area is very important in very different areas. Like, and chemistry also, this is important. Many crystals have crystalline structure, like there again you can apply this kind of things. So this particular paper is on nanotubes. Computer aspects of carbon and boron nanotubes. So it has got kind of network structure. And there is a software called Chem Networks, the complex network analysis tool for chemical systems. There is a software. You can go and download this. So I think it is a free software. You just search for this. You can do a lot of analysis with the softwares if you have some chemistry background, actually. Then physics, there are a lot of application network theory, like, a lot of applications, physics of complex network. It is called complex network. Why complex network? Because usual network, what usually in graph theory mathematics study, there will be only 2,500 nodes maximum, few number of nodes. When there are only few number of nodes, it is easy to analyze. This is, we call it as complex because the number of nodes will be very huge, like huge number of nodes. And not only that, the relations are non-trivial. The relation among these nodes are not very trivial. Then we call it as a complex network. And the patterns of complexity, complex network problems in physics, computer science, and biology. Like, this is a good paper. Like, you can see where you can apply in biology also. Like, read this complex network problems in physics, science, and biology. So what I'm trying to say is that not only citation network, there are a lot of many very different areas where we can work. I will concentrate on citation network analysis. This is evidence of large complex network and planned short silencing RNAs. See, this is from your area, like this is a particular paper, like planned short silence this bridge, 7 bridges of Königsberg, there was a problem. Like, this is an island, like, and a river passing through. And there are 7 bridges across. So you have to start from one island, then visit all other, come back to the same island without crossing a bridge twice. If you go by one bridge, you should not come back by the same bridge. So that was a condition. Then it was asked whether it is possible or something. He converted this a graph. Each island has become a node and the bridges become a line, and he solved it. So this is a very simple model actually of this polygon model. That was the beginning of it. Then there is something called the 4-color problem. How many minimum number of colors are required to draw the world map? Like, India and Pakistan sharing a common, they're sharing a common boundary. So we cannot use the same color. But at the same time, we can use the same color for America and India because we don't share a common border. And so minimum number of colors required. So it was sold in 1855 and only 4 colors are required. So that is why this one. Then there's a bit of social aspect. I will just skip it. And another main area is called the small world experiment. In 1970, why I'm telling you this is the background of the citation network, just to get an idea. In 1967, Milgram did an experiment. At that time, there was no email, nothing. Like, he wrote a letter and addressed to another person in the same village. You have to give to your friend. He will transfer to his own friend. Like that, the letter has to reach the destination addressing, actually. So how many transactions are required if you want to give a letter to some other fellow in the same village? You have to give it to your friend. He will give it to his own friend. Like, how many transactions are required? Then he did an experiment and realized that with almost 6 degrees of transactions, 6 transactions, you can reach anybody. 5 transactions including 6. So only 5 transactions. Somebody in a village, we may think that in a village, a lot of people, nobody knows that. But that is true. Like with the 6 degrees of separation, everybody is connected actually. So that is called a small world experiment. And the phenomenon is known as 6 degrees of separation. In 1993, there was a movie in Los Angeles, in Hollywood. There was an English movie based on this theory, like 6 degrees of separation. And the strength of the weak ties. Sometimes our friend, we have a very weak friendship. We may not value it much actually because weak friendship. But they say, socialists say that you should not ignore them. The weak ties will help you very lot in your life sometimes. So that kind of collaboration, when you collaborate with somebody, when you go to a conference and met somebody and come back, that friendship is very weak. Only you met him only once or twice. But you should not ignore them. That is what socialists say. A huge impact. And this theory has been applied in citation network, quadra network, terrorist network, economic network, family network, organization network, protein network, and so on. There are a lot of things you can apply for that. So even if you walk through the sand, it will be better. Then there are a lot of applications also. Sports, this network theory is applied. And you are from all your plant science. Most of you are from plant science. You know that every butterfly won't lay egg on every plant, right? One species of butterfly will lay egg on only one particular species of plant, right? Then you identify all the plants in your canvas and all the species of all the butterfly species in your canvas, and then you can make a network actually. Suppose there are 10 varieties of butterflies in your canvas, there are 10 nodes. And 25 types of plants are there in canvas, there are 25 plant nodes, so 2 more. Then one butterfly lay eggs in a particular species of plant, then you can have actually. So if you analyze that, we will get more insight actually which plant is used to be which butterfly for laying eggs and okay, there are a lot of applications in this. Political blogs, then organization network, Facebook friendship network. There are a lot of ingredient networks. 2 ingredients are added in the same dish, they are connected actually. So that will also form a network. And in politics, there are a lot of this network is the network. Each node is a person in the White House. When Ronald Reagan was the president of America, like in the 80s, right? And so if one person has sent an email to another person, then there is a network. So these people are very powerful in White House because they exchange a lot of networks. Here also they exchange a lot of networks, like email. So that means they are powerful actually. These people are not very powerful at that time in the White House. So this kind of analysis. Then there are a lot of things like between symbiotic laws. This bit of mathematics don't explain too much actually. Okay, I think it's enough. We have done some work related to this, not exactly on citation network. This is a company network published by one of my students actually. Then this person is the most prominent. I won't go. This is not in your area. Like this is for management, board interlock network. This person, R.A. Shah, is sitting in so many companies, like, So if you know that every company has a board of directors. Some people will be in the board of 2 different companies. Then they are connected, like he can do. Then road network analysis. Then mutual fund investment. If you invest in one mutual fund, they will buy these many shares. Actually, if you analyze this network, you will come to know which share is the best, which mutual fund is the best one to invest for maximum profit. And even sentence you can convert into network, like sentences. Suppose I say a sentence. Rama is writing a letter. Rama is writing a letter. Then you will take the word Rama. Writing Rama is you will draw. You won't use it actually. So writing, you take the root form of the verb, writes, then letter. So 3 words are there. So 3 words are there in the same sentence. So they are connected actually. They are co-occurrence network. So people are published a lot of papers like a politician speech converted network and this is the networks of Prime Minister speeches. And every Independence Day in Bedford, Indian Prime Minister will make a speech. We have download these speeches because they're available on internet. So we can download, then put some software to create a network like this. If you analyze, you'll get the policy shift of the government, etc. And IP network. And a lot of this is also an interesting example. Like sometime back, some boys and girls went to a pub at night for having beer or something. Then the local people attacked them. They're of moral policing. And then there was a protest. So some people, like, we will protest against this moral policing, and they announced on a particular day, at a particular time, we will all assemble at Marine Drive in Cochin, and we will publicly kiss and protest against moral policing. So this kind of protest is different from political parties' protest actually. This is a bit different. So they will put in the Twitter, and the people will retweet it, and like that also it will, and people will come to protest actually. So we can download all the tweets from the Twitter network, and every tweet has a hashtag, So all these protest tweets were with the hashtag Kiss of Love. Like, we downloaded this and we made a network. We published this work. We analyzed the network and published in a paper in journal PROS actually. So you can publish. And this is about also the older it's bit mathematics, enthalpy measure, which is used for this page rank algorithm in Google, like. But it was first invented by 1964 by Ram of ISI Calcutta. He developed the method algorithm, and he did not become very wealthy. But almost a modified version of the same algorithm was used to page in Google. So that is called the page rank algorithm. When you search a keyword in Google, the most appropriate page will come first actually. First. So how do they arrange all the pages? How do they know which one is the most appropriate for you to come in the first page? So based on this page rank algorithm, so he became very wealthy. And so this is a bit of overall introduction about network theory. And I mean, why I wanted to show is I just wanted to convey you what is a network and where else you can apply. Not only for science station network, you can apply this area for very many different areas like protein interaction network if you want to study, or pathway analysis using bioconductors. You can use the same algorithm concept, etc. You can do. So for that is why I gave an overall idea. Now I'll just move on to this citation network analysis. Now it is almost 10:58. Shall we have 5 minutes break and then come back? Or if you have any doubts or something, if you want to make any question, you can. And just to go and directly to this one. Yeah, please. If you want to make any question, and just to go and directly to. Yeah, please. Dr. SP, your mic is yeah. If you any questions regarding this, any questions or comments or anything, participant, you can feel free to ask, no problem. Otherwise, we'll move on to the citation network analysis. How do you do the citation network analysis? There are different softwares. Today I will show one or two softwares. Then today I will show you how to get this main path analysis. This main path. I will show you how to get this main path. This and write a paper. This is published in Government Information Quarterly, a social science journal with impact factor 4 or 4.5, something like that. So we can publish in a good paper journals just by doing literature review. I show you how to do that actually. So we'll have 5 minutes break and then come back. Okay.
Okay, sir. Students, if you have any doubt, you can ask.
Yeah, I'm here actually. If you have any doubt or any comment or anything, you can ask. You don't usually ask questions, no? That is typical of Kerala. I mean, you don't have to ask questions. If you have any comment or opinion also, you can say.
Or if you're reluctant to ask, you can put in the chat box also. That will be also equally good.
That is also possible. Another thing is that if you want me to speak on any particular aspect, that also I can put it over there. I'll talk on.
If you want anything know specifically on a literature review or studies, you can ask.
Another thing is now what I'm going to talk now onwards. You don't have to make any notes or anything. I can give some lecture notes or something. Like I can share. I'll share with Leslie ma'am. I think we can start, no? Okay, we'll start. We'll start. So we'll show you how to do it actually. Okay, this is more of like procedure, how to do the citation network analysis. One by one I'll show you. And one thing is that you don't have to worry about taking notes or anything. I can give a note for you, like, no? there's a PDF file. I have put like this with the screenshot under what to do with all the commands, everything. Like you can just watch it, so you can do it actually. So I'll show the whole procedure what you have to do. Okay, and you don't have to worry anything. Fully the notes are there. And the next thing is I have put a course, a MOOC course in you can just click on that. This is a website. I'll share in the chat box actually. Our Kerala University has a Moodle website, lms.keralauniversity.ac.in. So if you go to that website, it will look like this actually. So if you don't, you may not have an account here. You have to log in and password. So create a new account. What I'm trying to say is that whatever I am going to talk from now onwards, I have put it as a MOOC course. You can follow it. I have put all the videos. It is also available on YouTube actually, how to do this analysis, how to use the software. Very basic thing. I will not talk any mathematics or computer science, just how to do it only for that. So if you create a new account, click on that, fill up all this column, then you can create login name and password. With that login name and password, you can log in here. So when you log in, you will have a lot of courses here. There is something called a citation network analysis. So there are a lot of courses. You will click on that. So you can click on here, citation network analysis. You may go to the class, you have to enroll it. So that you can enroll by yourself. I have put all the notes, everything here, videos, etc. So if one software is like Science Square, one software is how to install this one. So I have put this, so you can just play this.
In this video, I'm going to show you how to install Science Square or Science of Science software.
So you can see this
very useful
video. You can watch. So one by one, I will show you how to do this, etc. It's very simple actually. So how to do it, how to install it, all with the screenshot, etc. So you can do that. So you don't have to take any notes. So that is why you want to say first. Okay. First thing is, okay, let us start. How to do citation network analysis. First thing is, you have to go to the web page called Web of Science. So, or Google, go to Google, webofknowledge.com, webofknowledge.com, you can site. So this is webofknowledge.com. Click on that. You will get a website like this, right? Web of knowledge. So tissue culture is what you are doing work area. You select that. And one more row, if you want to do, you can culture. Spelling should be correct actually. I may not be, what I am writing may not be correct, but your spelling should be, because these are keywords. So you have to find the keywords in your research area. How do you get the keywords? At least you might have seen some purpose in your research paper, some purpose in your area. No? So every paper, just below. Your mic is.
Excuse me, sir, the screen is not visible.
Oh, sorry. Okay. I forgot to share this thing. Okay. And now is it visible?
Yes.
No, I forgot to share the screen. Yeah. Okay. So first I wanted to say is that this I'll repeat actually. There is a website called LMS. I'll show that first. There is a website called lms.keralauniversity.ac.in. You have to log in with the password and the username and password, but you may not have. Click on new account, then fill up this form. Once you fill up this form, you will get a username and password. That username and password you can use to log in. You can log in. Once you log in that, there will be, go to site home, then you will see citation network analysis. Citation network analysis, the course is there, all the video, everything is there. This is a full plug. What you want to do, everything I have put it as videos. Very simple. Suppose if you want to install a software called Science Square, I have even shown we put a video on how to install the software. So if you just click, you can watch the video. So it's like a screenshot. All the commands you can view. It's also there in YouTube actually if you search. So this course, if you completely pass, you'll come to know the full, all the notes, everything, sample data, everything is here. You just follow it. Okay. And another thing is, I can even share one lecture note. Like I have a PDF file of the simple how to download data from Web of Science, what you have to do, everything is there actually. So that is also there. So you don't have to bother. Okay. Now, having said that, let us start doing it. Just relax and watch. So go to Google and type Web of Knowledge or Web of Science. Search Web of Knowledge. You will get this. So there is a website called webofknowledge.com. Click on webofknowledge.com. So you will get a website like this actually. But if you get that, you have to use your university website. You do from your home internet connection, you will not get this site. You will get a site and you will be asked to log in. For this, you have to pay money to Web of Science for login and getting data. Because Calicut University campus, UGC has paying money to this Web of Knowledge. They subscribed to the service and made available to all the universities. So if you search this website, go to this website from the university internet connection, any computer connected to the university campus. So you can you'll reach this website. Otherwise, you will not get this website, right? So for home internet connection, you cannot do. In Kerala University, we have given VPN students and faculty, like VPN. So you have to connect to the university computer. Then from home computer also it is available. This one. So I want to do a literature review on tissue. Okay. Type, collect this core collection, basic search, tissue, and culture. So you can add one more word, you can add here if there is another word. If you don't, there is nothing. Okay. Then here, tissue and culture or tissue or culture. Tissue or culture you should not use. If you use tissue or culture, there are papers in sociology like a cultural revolution kind of thing. All those information will also come. But you want to have a tissue culture. Otherwise, in one quotation, you can type here is a tissue culture. Okay, then this will be, if this word is in the title, in other publication type, everywhere you can search actually. So we select for this purpose, we select for topic. Okay, search. So it will search the network. There are tissue culture, there are how many papers? 2 lakhs paper, not 2 lakhs. 29 lakhs, 40,000 papers are there. See, on tissue culture, suppose you happen to do research in tissue culture, your supervisor will tell you, read the literature. If you're strictly following it, you are supposed to read this many papers. Research, a huge number. 2 lakhs, not 2 lakhs, right? 29 lakhs, 40,000 papers. It is humanly impossible to read. Then you want to read the main purpose, which is particularly related to your area. Like that is what you do. But what I am saying is that we will download the information from whole 2 lakhs information only, not papers. Download, put it in a software. From that, the software will select around 20 or 30 papers. You need to read only that is called the main one. Then you can write a review also. This is how the whole area was evolved. Okay. So before going to the citation, you can get a lot of information from this website itself. On the right, there is something called Analyze Results. No? Analyze Results. Click on Analyze Results. Analyze Results. Then a lot of information here itself you don't have to do anything. See, out of this, all this 2,72,530 biochemistry, molecular biology. There are more than almost 2 lakhs papers on oncology, immunology, surgery, neuroscience. How many are within this tissue culture has got this many papers in different areas, like cell biology. You might be working only on cell biology, pharmacology. Maybe tissue culture, they may be developing some particular plan for oncology, cancer research or something. Maybe, who knows. or surgery, some kind of plants may be particularly useful, and they want to tissue culture, those may be working on that actually. And the data also. This data you can download as a CSV file. Click download. You can plot it again, like you'll get it as a CSV format which you can open in Excel. Okay, so these are different category. Then publication years. See that 2000 onwards, how many papers are going like this? It is slowly increasing, almost from 2012 onwards actually. So if you click here, each year how many papers are there published actually, record account. So it will give from 1997 onwards, how many papers are there. And that is what I told you earlier, like if you plot this kind of figures, number of papers per year, if it has reached up to this much, there is no point in working in that area. Right? So that is one thing about this that you can get. Then document type, what kind of the document? These are our research articles, these are meeting abstract, editorial material, note, early access, letters, book review, even review around 2 lakhs papers are there, 2 lakhs reviews are there on tissue cultures, review alone, that many reviews are there. The organization enhancement. Actually, who are publishing most of the papers in this area? Like University of California system, they have around 84,000 papers. University of London, 46, this one, and Harvard University, 58. So if you go and know in your area, you will know. As a research scholar, you should know. Because you may go for postdoctoral position, and then you want to apply for postdoc. Then you want to know who are working, which university is working in this area. Prominent one, lot of work, where it is coming from. Like all this information you can get. See if which university is publishing most. Here you can get the list also. This university has this many. Harvard, all these kind of things, like University of London, California, and all this you'll get. The complete list you can download. Which university? Okay. Funding agency. Suppose as a professor, as an associate, you want to write and you want to apply for some funding for this your research area in this area, like then which agency you should submit for, like whether DST or Department of Science and Technology or UGC, where to apply this project actually. That also it gives us. So far, the United States Department of Health and Human Sciences has given so many projects, this much project they have given. So which agency has funded most of the research for that you will get. Then others, who are all the prominent others in your area? Like you are also started, you are going to become an author, or you have already published a paper. Who has published most of the papers in this area? Like, Wang Wei, he has published around more than 10,000 papers. Wang Wei, 10,000 papers. Li has 8,000. You see, most of them are Chinese people. In terms of number of papers, it doesn't mean that it's a top journal or top article or something, but in terms of number. Source titles, which journal you want to apply. So most of the papers are on clause 1. Suppose you write a paper, then you want to know where to submit this paper, the journal, which journal you have to submit. So in your area, so who publishes most of the papers in your area, like that will get. Here, like book title series, like these are book series. Methods in cell biology, like countries, region, like USA is the number 1. Then Japan, Canada, France, Italy. Okay. See, so many which countries are published actually. If you go here, you will get India. See, India. This many papers are there from India, like. So, editors who are the most prominent editors in this area. You can get hold of them, somehow you can have some kind of contacts with these people, group authors, like, who are all group authors from this. And language, which language? English, the most French, there are articles publishing in research areas, which area, cell biology, oncology, related to this. Grand numbers, actually, which funding, grand numbers. All this information you can get. Most of them are from like a plot also. Okay, organization again. So there are Harvard University organization. There are different ways you can see the bar graph. Also, you can see different ways. This itself you can put in your thesis. Lot of information you can go into the thesis. When you do a literature review for your thesis, I'm not saying about the research article, but in the thesis you can include a lot of information in the literature review. These are the Morgan and people working in this area. Then you go and see that website, that particular process website, see what he is doing. And suppose if you know who is the most prominent person working in the area, you can go to his website and see and what he is doing actually. What is his research? What type of work he is doing, like. An idea. So a lot of information you can get from the site itself. Okay. Now, but I'll go to the front page again. Okay. Web of knowledge. Okay. So tissue culture I have side. Then search. This is our side. I have said for the citation network, whatever I have said now, you don't need this analysis. You can get. Come here, year-wise number of publications you will get here that you can collect. Suppose you want only research papers on cell biology, the oncology and you are not interested. You are cell biology. You can here. Then refine. Out of 20, more than 29 lakhs, only 2,06,000 papers are there on cell biology. You can refine. Click here, refine, only that. And from that also for citation network, we only need article. Review paper we don't require actually. And the proceeding paper also we can consider. Review paper is not a new knowledge. It is already existing knowledge. So you don't need that for writing to make a citation network, right? You understand? Because review paper, there is no new knowledge. Review means a paper about other papers, like what has already been done. Right? So we will avoid that. So we will select this article and proceedings paper. Refine. Okay. How many papers are there? 1,70,324 papers are there in cell biology related to tissue culture. You got it? Now I am going to download. Not download all the papers, only the bibliographic information like title, authors, abstract, reference. You might want to. You might have a doubt like, why do you want paper science can be used for this scholar. A scholar, you will not get the references. You will only get a title, abstract, etc. But we need the references also. Then only we'll come to know which paper is cited in which other one. Okay. Then click on export. Export. Click on that. Then select other file formats. Other file formats. So a window will come. Only problem here is you cannot download this 1,70,000 papers in one go. The site won't allow. You have to download 500 by 500. First, you have to select 100, 500 natives. Then here you select full record and cited references. If you select the title source alone, you cannot make a network, citation network. You need a full record and cited references. Then file format, select plain. So you can take a screenshot or something. You do not know. I have a PDF file I can send you across. Or in the video, the LMS, that video, if you go, I have shown the same thing as the video. Like the same video, the whole thing you can see. Otherwise, I think this has been recorded. So you can and watch it again. So select from 1 to 500. Record account, there are several options. Select the last one, full record with the cited references. Then which format? There are different formats. We select plain text. Then export. Okay, export. So it will be downloading all the 500 papers. So after, see, it is getting downloaded. If you see the bottom left corner, it is being downloaded. Okay. Before that, I have to say, after it is downloaded, it will be in the downloads folder. You again click here. Now you select 501 to 1000 because this site allow you to 500 at a time. Then 501 to 1000. Then again select full record with the cited references, plain text, export. Export. right? Again, next file will be there. So I will show you how does the file look like. See, this is how the file look. I don't know, is it visible to you? Like, let me see if I can, no way. So I cannot enlarge it. See, I hope it is visible. The first line is F1 Calicut Analytics of Web of Science version 1. PT means publication type, it's a journal. AU means others, these are the others. Then TA means title. See, the title of this paper is this: Differential Development of Electrophysiological Activity in Cultured Neurons from the Mouse. And so may not be directly connected to this tissue culture. The keyword may not be. That is what I'm saying. Tissue culture, I don't know, is it related to your area? But you have to put your keyword correct. Otherwise, papers not in your area will also come. May not be the way I just. Maybe tissue related to maybe all the papers related to tissue also pick. Tissue and culture. Maybe tissue culture in zoology, I don't know this area. Maybe that is relevant to this. It has also come. And then abstract is there, like, AB means abstract. Then these are the references. These are the another references in the paper, like, see, references are also there, like. This is AB means abstract. It's a big abstract, like, see, full abstract. Abstract is there. Then, see, you look at this. This is one reference. This is another reference. This paper has several references. In references, there is something called a DOE number. Do you know that what is a DOE number? When they write the reference, it will only write the first author, year of publication, journal, volume, and DOE number. It will not give all. What is DOE? Digital Object Identifier. So you want to know what is this paper. Then there is a website called DOE.org, Digital Object Identifier. So because if you go to your library, if for searching for a book, you will know where that book is. It will be kept in one particular shelf, right? It will be there. Next day also, if you go, then that particular shelf, that book will be there. It will not be misplaced. It is difficult to find out. But one research article or one paper on PDF file, I put in website, on server. You search, you get it. Then next day or after 1 week, I may copy that file and I may put it in some other server. Then where this file is coming from on the internet. So in order to identify, they have come up with an idea called the digital object identifier. So we know every file will have it. You can get, if you apply for that, you will get an identifier number. You place that number here. I have copied from this DOE number I have copied. And this paper, I want to know which paper is it, 2012 paper. So I put that number over here, submit. Then you don't have to worry where this paper, it will directly go to that paper. See, it went to that paper. So you select one paper, it will go there. That is DOE number. So the downloaded paper will be looking like this. Okay. Yeah, where is that? Yeah. Okay, it will be looking like this. So this is the first paper. So after the first paper, there are a lot of references. So I can make a network like, this is one node on paper. These references are all nodes. So I'll be connecting all the nodes to this particular one. Like that I can connect. This is the second paper. So once that is over, there is PT, again, publication journal, others. Others title, this is the title, then abstract, these are the references, and the next one. Like that, 500 papers are there, paper informations. And the last line is EF, end of the file. Because 500 like that, you keep on downloading, there will be several files, you have to cut and paste into one. But if you know Linux, you don't have to cut and paste. There is a simple command like cat, then pipe one to one folder, it will cut and paste. And I would say that if you are a bit good in computer, learn Linux also, because in Windows we cannot do much. Linux is free. And for layman's language, if you don't know anything, if you don't see any other advantage, at least I can say in Linux there was no virus. In Windows, there will be viruses, but in Linux, there is no virus, at least for simple. And apart from that, Ubuntu Linux comes with 8,000 pieces of software free of cost. Here, MS Office is there. For that, they have LibreOffice. PowerPoint, they have Impress. All the software, it will be almost looking like the same. I am using this. This machine is a Linux machine. So I am using this. There is no difference. This is equivalent to, here they call it mouse pad. It is equivalent to notepad, if you have notepad. So all the files are there. So when you cut and paste, this line, EF only need to be at the end of it. You don't have to be there at the every end. So this is how you download papers. Clear? Is it clear or not? Any doubt? Ask me. Should I show this once more? Tell me something. Right. Or any other keyword, if select. I'll select one more time, I'll show you. Chaos. Chaos is an area in physics. Chaos. All the papers on chaos. Select chaos. It's a topic, search. Okay. There are 66,000 papers on chaos with the keyword chaos. I will select only articles and proceeding, conference proceeding papers, reviews, book and review, and I don't record. So refine. So there are 60,000 papers around. Export to filter format from 1 to 500. Select full record of the site reference. Plain text I select. Then export. So 500 papers you will get. Next 501 report. It will be another file. 501 to 1000. Like that you can keep on downloading. Then export, click. Another file will be there. These are all will be there in the downloads folder. Then you can cut and paste all into one file. Is it clear? Clear? Any doubt? Please tell me. Like if you have any doubt, you can just rise. Okay. So this procedure I have explained in this PDF file. I can send you this across. Maybe some typos are there because I typed in hurry. Like, apart from typo, there's no problem. So this file this shows how to download. And I also showed that MOOC course. If you go, I'll put a lot of videos you can see and you can write. Okay, now I have this file. Here, I have cut and pasted all this into one file. So that many files, 500, 500, 500, all this I have cut and so many lines, no, this many lines. This is a different area. I have cut and pasted everything into one file. So this is the data. For this, you need to go to any university campus because this Web of Science you cannot access from your home computer internet connection. You need to have a university access, otherwise you will not get it. Is it clear? So that I have put everything as all txt.one file. Okay, then there is a software called Science Square. Now you want to get a network. It is called the Science Square software. This is a free software. I'll show you where to download this. Okay, so go to Google. Site is Site2. Science Square. This software was developed by Indiana State University by a social science professor. It's part of their project actually. So you can download this software. Click download. So if you want to download, you need to have an email address and password. So first, for email address and password, you can register here. So they will send you a link with the email and password. But it is free. They just wanted to know who have downloaded. So you can download this. So what is the software? I'll show you. It's only a zip file, nothing else. Just a zip file. See, this is a zip file. I have downloaded for the Linux version. You can download it for the Windows version. And this is a Java-based file. Java-based software. And this file, nothing to install. This is a zip file. You can uncompress and put it in one folder. I have uncompressed and put it in this folder. So these are the files. Right? This many folders. Then there is a software called Science. You can double-click it. That's it. Nothing more than that. Okay. So no installation. But this software works on Java version 8 or 9. So mostly your computer will have a Java. Java is also a free software. This is a Java-based software. You need to have Java. Java is also free. But usually in Linux and all, the latest version is 11 or something. So it will be installed 11, version 11. But you have to install version 8. This will work only on 8. Understood that? So I hope you understood. Okay, so I'll show this. I'll open this. Now you know how to install it. This also I have put as a tutorial, like as a video how to install it. So go there. Then site 2. This I am using it in Linux actually. So actually for you, if you are using Windows, you can double click this. Because I'm using Linux, I'm calling it like this. So the software science tool will come. Science. Okay. Science tool. Got it. This is a software in Windows. Everything it opens. Now I'll file load. This file you have to load actually. I have cut and paste everything into one file now. That file you have to download. You open 500 by 500. You have downloaded several files. Finally, you cut and paste everything into one file. Then okay, open it. Then there are different options. You have to select ISI flat format. ISI flat format. That is the format we are, the format of the data we have downloaded. So I select ISI flat format. Then select. So it is reading. It takes a bit of time to read because the huge database. Yes, you can very well do that because it doesn't require any huge computer or anything. Yes, an ordinary computer is sufficient. But if you put more RAM, it is better actually because the data size is a bit large. So RAM you can increase. Apart from that, there is no problem, right? Okay, so no problem. I have loaded it. How many records it says this many records is there. Then go to data, extract paper citation network. It is doing it. So I've done. So it is then select save here. Click here. Select save. Then page network. Save. Then I can save it in a desktop actually. So there will be a file. Extracted paper citation network in desktop actually. I saved it. Is it done? Only this much. And then now I don't require this software. I can go to desktop and open this file. Extract paper citation network. See this file. I download desktop item. Open in mousepad or notepad. So it will open that file. See, this is the file. This is the file. This is actually e-governance. I did not give the keyword tissue culture or chaos. This is for the keyword e-governance. All the papers e-governance. There are 87,121 papers. Second paper. This is the third paper. So the dots are 87,000. Then each one is number because it's kind of an applied science, applied computer science. So, like in applied science, you don't have to know the full theory. You just have to have an idea, right? Limitations of this algorithm, etc. If you can try, but they have developed this tool, this software, everything. You can use it for your better thing. You can use it. This is better for using it. This is the citation network analysis. You can use this in a paper, write about it, how this whole area was evolved, and it will be a nice paper. This is called the main path algorithm. So the algorithm in the software is given in what we call. If go to Wikipedia, okay, Google main path algorithm, Wikipedia. Okay, so if you go, it is analysis. It is given detail with all the see how this one, the methodology is all in Wikipedia. What is the method? There are different. I used this global search. There are different search paths, each on that advantage, everything it is mentioned here. So this is very beautiful. And now another one more thing is, like, suppose you want to know which are all the papers, you can save this on Indian papers. Click here. Okay, in desktop, I give mpa.net. Sorry, mpa.net. I can save it. Okay, if you go to desktop, that file will be there, mpa.net. Yeah, these are the 129 papers. So this is the paper. Paper it is there, like, no? If you want to get click the DOI number, you can get the paper, like, see, for each one DOI is there. If you go this and put in the DOI.org site, it will give what is the full details. This will give only the first author, year, volume, page. So beautiful, the whole area, how it was evolved. This is a systematic method of identifying or tracing the evaluation of a domain. Why systematic? Because if you read all the 87,000 papers and identify this is important, this is important, some kind of personal bias will be there. Now, you may like on papers, so you say that is very important. This is like no personal, this is very systematic, this is assisted by a software. Let me ask one question. How does the software know which is important, which is the cornerstone paper? Even without knowing, I cannot go and read and I may not be able to identify whether it is important or not. But how does the software know? Only because your paper is more number of times cited. That is how the software works. A paper is getting more and more importance when it is cited more and more times. That is. But there are questions on this also, like, people say citing may not be a good. Some papers may be cited a lot of times, but that may not be a good paper. Like, got it. Today I will stop with that, and tomorrow I can even talk about what if cluster analysis, and there are different aspects. There are two other softwares also. One is called OSphere. I will show you how to use that. Today I introduced two softwares, Science Square as well as Paycheck, and how to do it, how to get main path of evolution of a subject. Clear? Any doubts? Any comment or anything? So some you can ask me if you want to know. Question
Hello, sir.
Yeah, please.
Sir, പിന്നെ സൈസ് സ്ക്വയർ അങ്ങനത്തെ സോഫ്റ്റ്വെയർ ഒക്കെ യൂസ് ചെയ്തപ്പം ഡൗൺലോഡ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നില്ലേ 1 to 500 എന്നൊക്കെ പറഞ്ഞിട്ട്. അപ്പം ഡൗൺലോഡ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ നമ്മുടെ കമ്പ്യൂട്ടറിന്റെ ലോക്കൽ ഡിസ്ക് ഡി അല്ലെങ്കിൽ സി എന്നൊക്കെ പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുള്ളതിലൊക്കെ അല്ലേ അത് ഡൗൺലോഡ് ആയി പോവാ. അതായത് അപ്പം നമ്മുടെ റാമിന്റെ സ്പേസ് കുറവാണെങ്കിൽ ക്യാൻ വി ഡൗൺലോഡ് ഡയറക്ട്ലി ടു ഒരു എക്സ്റ്റേണൽ ഹാർഡ് ഡിസ്ക് ഒക്കെ?
അത് ഇൻസ്റ്റാൾ ചെയ്യാം. നമ്മൾ സാധാരണ കമ്പ്യൂട്ടറിന്റെ ഹാർഡ് ഡിസ്കിലേക്കാണ് ഇൻസ്റ്റാൾ ചെയ്യുന്നത് അവസാനം. എക്സ്റ്റേണൽ ഹാർഡ് ഡിസ്ക് വേണമെങ്കിലും ഇൻസ്റ്റാൾ ചെയ്യാം.
ഓക്കെ. അപ്പൊ നമ്മുടെ എന്താണ് ഹാർഡ് ഡിസ്ക് മീൻസ് കമ്പ്യൂട്ടറിൽ സ്പേസ് കുറവാണെങ്കിൽ അങ്ങനെ ചെയ്താൽ പോരെ? അതാവില്ല. അപ്പം
മതി അങ്ങനെ എക്സ്റ്റേണൽ ഹാർഡ് ഡിസ്ക് ചെയ്യാം. പിന്നെ ഈ ഡേറ്റ പിന്നെ ഇപ്പൊ നമ്മുടെ 1,00,000 പേപ്പറിന്റെ ഡേറ്റ ഡൗൺലോഡ് ചെയ്യുന്ന സൂക്ഷിക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ ഒരു പെൻ ഡ്രൈവിൽ സൂക്ഷിക്കാം. പിന്നെ ഈ സോഫ്റ്റ്വെയർ സാധാരണ ലാപ്ടോപ്പിലോ ഡെസ്ക്ടോപ്പിലോ വർക്ക് ചെയ്യും. വലിയ കമ്പ്യൂട്ടറൊന്നും വേണ്ട. പിന്നെ നിങ്ങൾ ആകെ ചെയ്യേണ്ടതിന് അതിന്റെ മെമ്മറി 4 GB ഒരു 8 GB ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ നല്ലതാണ്. അത് കുറച്ചുകൂടി മെമ്മറി പെട്ടെന്ന് നടക്കും. മെമ്മറി മാത്രമല്ല, ഈ സയൻസ് കോർ സോഫ്റ്റ്വെയറിൽ പോയിട്ട് അതിലൊരു സയൻസ് ഡോട്ട് ഇനി എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞൊരു ഫയലുണ്ട്. ഇപ്പൊ ഇതില് നമ്മുടെ കമ്പ്യൂട്ടറിൽ 4 GB റാമാണ്. ഈ ഹാർഡ് ഡിസ്കിന്റെ സ്പേസ് അല്ല, അല്ലാതെ മെമ്മറി 8 GB 4 GB 8 GB കൊണ്ട് അത്രയും ഇത് ഉപയോഗിക്കില്ല. അത് SCI.ini എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ ഫയലുണ്ട്. അതിൽ എത്ര ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്നത് എഴുതിയിട്ടുണ്ട്. അത് കൂട്ടി കിട്ടാൻ മതി. അത്രയും ഉപയോഗിക്കും. വളരെ ഫാസ്റ്റ് ആയിട്ട് വർക്ക് ചെയ്യും. പിന്നെ ഇത് ചെയ്യുന്ന ഞാൻ ഇപ്പൊ ഇങ്ങനെ കാണിച്ചാൽ എനിക്ക് അറിയാൻ ഞാൻ തുടക്കത്തിൽ പറഞ്ഞു റൈറ്റിംഗ് എ പേപ്പർ 5 ക്ലിക്സ് അവേ. ഞാനിപ്പോ 4 പ്രാവശ്യം ക്ലിക്ക് ചെയ്തപ്പോഴേ മെയിൻ പാത്ത് ഓഫ് എവല്യൂഷൻ കിട്ടി. നിങ്ങൾക്ക് അത് എഴുതിക്കൂടെ? നിങ്ങളുടെ ഏരിയയിൽ ആരും സൈറ്റേഷൻ നെറ്റൊക്കെ ചെയ്തിട്ടില്ലെങ്കിൽ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് അത് പബ്ലിഷ് ചെയ്യാം. അത് പിന്നെ ഇതൊക്കെ ഞങ്ങൾ ഈ കോൺസെപ്റ്റ് പബ്ലിഷ് ചെയ്തത് 4 ഇമ്പാക്ട് ഫാക്ടറുകൾ ചെയ്യാത്തതാണ്. മറ്റേ ഈ കാജിക്കാവ ചെയ്തത് പിന്നെ സോഷ്യൽ ചേഞ്ച് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ ജേർണലിന്റെ ഇമ്പാക്ട് ഫാക്ടർ അറൌണ്ട് 2 ആണ്, 0.7 മറ്റാണ്. ഒരു പേപ്പർ സുഖമായിട്ട് നല്ലൊരു പേപ്പർ കിട്ടും എഴുതാം. 5 പ്രാവശ്യം ക്ലിക്ക് ചെയ്ത് അറിഞ്ഞാൽ മതി. നമ്മളിപ്പോ 4 പ്രാവശ്യം ക്ലിക്ക് ചെയ്തപ്പോഴേ മെത്ത വരും. പിന്നെ അത് എഴുതുന്നത് ഇങ്ങനെയൊക്കെ ആണെങ്കിലും ഇത്ര സിമ്പിൾ ആണെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ നിങ്ങൾ ഒരു പ്രാവശ്യം കേട്ട് അത് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റില്ല. ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ കുറെ
സാധാരണ പ്രശ്നം സാറ് പറയുമ്പം നമുക്ക് കറക്റ്റ് മനസ്സിലാവുന്നുണ്ട്. പക്ഷേ നമ്മള് അത് ചെയ്ത് നോക്കാണ്ട് അറ്റ്ലീസ്റ്റ് ഒരു തവണയെങ്കിലും നമ്മൾ പ്രാക്ടിക്കലി ചെയ്ത് നോക്കാണ്ട് ഐ ഡോണ്ട് തിങ്ക് കൂടുതൽ ഡൗട്ട് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ
2 മാർഗം ചെയ്യാം. ഒന്ന്, ഞാനൊരു മൂക്ക് കോഴ്സ് ഇട്ടിട്ടുണ്ടെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞല്ലോ, അതിന്റെ ലിങ്ക് ഞാൻ ഈ ചാറ്റ് ബോക്സിൽ കണ്ട് എല്ലാം. അതിപ്പോ ഒരു വീഡിയോ ഉണ്ട്. അപ്പൊ അതിൽ നിന്ന് വീഡിയോ വീണ്ടും അതിൽ കണ്ടാൽ മതി. ആ വീഡിയോ ആണെന്ന് റീവൈൻഡ് ചെയ്ത് കാണാമല്ലോ. ആ എല്ലാ വീഡിയോയും യൂട്യൂബിലും ഉണ്ട്. അല്ലെങ്കിൽ മൂക്ക് കോഴ്സിൽ ഒരു ഓർഡർ ഇട്ടിട്ടുണ്ട്. അത് എന്ത് ചെയ്യാം? ആ ഓർഡർ അത് കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ഫോളോ ചെയ്താൽ കൊടുത്ത് അതേ നോക്കണം. അതുപോലെ ചെയ്യാം. ഇനി വേറൊരു ഓപ്ഷൻ ഉണ്ടെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ എനിക്ക് വേണമെങ്കിൽ ഹെൽപ്പ് ചെയ്ത് തരാം. ഒരു സമയമാണ് പ്രശ്നം. അപ്പൊ നിങ്ങൾ ഒരുപാട് പേരുണ്ട്. ഇപ്പൊ എല്ലാവരും എനിക്ക് അയച്ചു തന്നാൽ എനിക്ക് വേണമെങ്കിൽ മെയിൻ പാത്ത് കണ്ടുപിടിച്ച് തരാം. കാരണം ഞാൻ ഇപ്പൊ തന്നെ നോക്കി എത്ര സമയം എടുക്കും. വളരെ കുറച്ചേ ഉള്ളൂ. ഇതിൽ ഡൗൺലോഡ് ചെയ്യുന്നത് മാത്രം 500 by 500 ഡൗൺലോഡ് ചെയ്യണം. അത് മാത്രമേ സമയം എടുക്കൂ. അതിന് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് പൈതൺ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞൊരു സോഫ്റ്റ്വെയർ പൈതൺ അറിയാവുന്നവരുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ സെലേനിയം എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞൊരു പാക്കേജ് ഉണ്ട്. അതുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ നിങ്ങൾ ചെയ്യേണ്ട ആ പൈതൺ ഒരു കോഡ് എഴുതിയ ആ കോഡ് 500 കഴിയുമ്പോൾ അടുത്ത ആ സോഫ്റ്റ്വെയർ ഡൗൺലോഡ് ചെയ്തോളൂ. എന്റെ കയ്യിൽ അങ്ങനെ ഒരു കോഡ് ഉണ്ട്. അപ്പൊ അതുകൊണ്ട് ഞാൻ ഈ ഡൗൺലോഡ് 500 ഡൗൺലോഡ് ചെയ്യേണ്ട പൈതൺ സെലേനിയം കോഡിൽ ഇട്ടാൽ അത് തന്നെ 500 ഡൗൺലോഡ് ചെയ്യും. അത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് ഈ സോഫ്റ്റ്വെയർ 500 ഇപ്പൊ എല്ലാം ഓട്ടോമാറ്റിക് വെച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. അപ്പൊ അത് വെച്ച് ചെയ്തുതരാം. പിന്നെ ഞാൻ നിങ്ങളെ കോൺടാക്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ പഠിക്കുന്നത് എന്റെ ഇമെയിൽ അയക്കുകയോ ഫോൺ ചെയ്യുകയോ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്ന സഹായം ചെയ്തുതരാം. സമയമില്ലാത്തതിന്റെ മാത്രമേ പ്രശ്നമേ ഉള്ളൂ. ഇല്ലെങ്കിൽ പിന്നെ ഒരു ഓപ്ഷൻ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ എന്റെ PhD സ്റ്റുഡൻസോ എന്റെ കൂടെ മാസ്റ്റേഴ്സ് കുറെ സ്റ്റുഡൻസ് ഒക്കെ ഇത് അറിയാം. ഞാൻ അവരുടെ അടുത്ത് പറഞ്ഞാൽ അവരിതൊക്കെ ചെയ്ത് മെയിൻ പാത്ത് വരെ കണ്ടുപിടിച്ച് തരും. ഒരു മോട്ടിവേഷൻ വേണമെങ്കിൽ നിങ്ങൾ പേപ്പറാണ് പബ്ലിഷ് ചെയ്യുന്ന ആ സ്റ്റുഡൻസിന്റെ പേര് കൊണ്ട് വയ്ക്കണം. അപ്പൊ അവർക്ക് ഒരു മോട്ടിവേഷൻ വരും. ഇല്ലെങ്കിൽ കുറച്ച് ഞാൻ പറയുമ്പോൾ അവരൊന്ന് മടക്കും. നിങ്ങൾക്ക് മെച്ചം അവർക്ക് മെച്ചം അത്ര ആരെങ്കിലും സ്റ്റുഡന്റ് പേര് പറ്റുന്നത് അവർ ഓക്കെ പേപ്പർ എഴുതി അവർക്ക് ചെയ്യാൻ മടിയാണ്. ഇല്ലെങ്കിൽ എപ്പോഴെങ്കിലും ഞാൻ സ്ഥിരം ഞാൻ ഇങ്ങനെ ഓരോ വർക്ക് എടുത്ത് കൊടുക്കുമ്പോൾ അവർ മടിയായിരിക്കും. തുടക്കമാണോ തുടങ്ങിയതേ ഉള്ളൂ? അത് തീരാറായ നല്ല വർക്കായിട്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുമോ? സബ്ജക്റ്റ് ആണോ ബോട്ടണി തന്നെയാണോ? ശരി. അപ്പൊ ഇതിലും ചെയ്യാൻ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ബോട്ടണി സൈറ്റേഷൻ നെറ്റ്വർക്ക് അല്ലാതെ തന്നെ ഈ സോഫ്റ്റ്വെയർ ഉപയോഗിച്ച് ഒരുപാട് പിന്നെ ഈ പ്രോട്ടീൻ ഓക്കെ പറയും.
നമ്മള് സാധാരണ പേപ്പറിന്റെ ഒരു അതോറിറ്റി ഒക്കെ നോക്കുന്നത് പബ്ലിഷ് എന്നുള്ളതൊക്കെയാണ്. ഇപ്പം ഞങ്ങൾ ബയോളജി ബാക്ക്ഗ്രൗണ്ട് ആണെങ്കിൽ ഞങ്ങൾ ഒരു പബ്ലിഷ് ചെയ്ത് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അങ്ങനെ ആ ഒരു പേപ്പർ ഇമ്പാക്ട് ജേർണലിന്റെ ഇമ്പാക്ട് നോക്കിയിട്ടാണല്ലോ മോസ്റ്റ്ലി പേപ്പേഴ്സ് ഡൗൺലോഡ് ചെയ്യാം. അപ്പൊ ഇതിൽ അങ്ങനെ നമുക്ക് ജേർണൽ വൈസ് വരും. അപ്പൊ അതിലങ്ങനെ ചെയ്താൽ വല്ല വൈറസ് വരുന്നുണ്ടോ?
പിന്നെ നല്ല ജേർണൽ പബ്ലിഷ് ചെയ്ത് മാത്രം എടുക്കാം. ഈ
ഇപ്പൊ നമ്മൾ ചെയ്തപ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് വേണമെങ്കിൽ ജേർണൽ റെസ്ട്രിക്ട് ചെയ്യാം, ഇന്ന ജേർണൽ ഉള്ളത് മാത്രം മതി എന്ന് പറയാൻ പറ്റും, അങ്ങനെ ചെയ്യാം. പക്ഷെ ഈ വെബ് ഓഫ് സയൻസ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ഇൻഡെക്സ്ഡ് ജേർണലാണ്. വെബ് ഓഫ് സയൻസിലെ ഒരു ജേർണൽ, അതിൽ വരുന്ന എല്ലാ ജേർണലും നല്ല ജേർണലാണ്. അതിന് വെറും കാശ് കൊടുക്കുന്ന ജേർണൽ രീതി വരില്ല, പിന്നെ പെയ്ഡ് ജേർണലിൽ 3 രീതി വരില്ല. ഈ വെബ് ഓഫ് സയൻസിൽ ഇൻഡെക്സ് ചെയ്യുക എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ തന്നെ അതൊരു നല്ല ജേർണലാണെന്നാണ് അർത്ഥം. അതിന് നല്ല വ്യത്യാസമാണ്. ഇപ്പൊ നേച്ചറിൽ വരുന്ന പേപ്പറും സാധാരണ പേപ്പറിൽ വന്ന് വ്യത്യാസം കാണും. എന്നാലും ഇതിലെ വെബ് ഓഫ് സയൻസ് ഇൻഡെക്സ് കുറച്ചുകൂടെ നല്ലതാണ്. ഇതിനേക്കാൾ കുറച്ചുകൂടെ മോശപ്പെട്ട ജേർണൽ സ്കോപ്പസിൽ വരും. നിങ്ങൾക്ക് വെബ് ഓഫ് സയൻസിലെ സ്കോപ്പസിൽ എടുത്താലും മതി. പക്ഷെ സ്കോപ്പസിൽ കുറച്ചുകൂടെ ജേർണൽസ് ഉണ്ട്, കുറച്ചുകൂടെ ജേർണൽ. വെബ് ഓഫ് സയൻസിൽ എല്ലാ ജേർണലും ഇല്ല, ഒരുവിധം നല്ല ജേർണൽസ് മാത്രമേ വെബ് ഓഫ് സയൻസിൽ ഇൻഡെക്സ് ചെയ്യൂ. സ്കോപ്പസിൽ കുറച്ചുകൂടെ മോശപ്പെട്ട ജേർണൽ അത് ഇൻഡെക്സ് ചെയ്യും. സ്കോപ്പസിൽ എടുത്താലും മതി. സ്കോപ്പസിൽ എടുക്കാൻ കുറച്ചുകൂടെ പേപ്പറിന്റെ എണ്ണം കൂടി കിട്ടും ഡൗൺലോഡ് ചെയ്യാൻ, പക്ഷെ അത് കുറച്ചുകൂടെ മോശപ്പെട്ടായിരിക്കും. അതുകൊണ്ട് വെബ് ഓഫ് സയൻസിൽ നിന്ന് എടുക്കുന്ന ജേർണൽ പിന്നെ നിങ്ങൾ ഇന്ന ജേർണൽ സെർച്ച് ചെയ്യേണ്ട കാര്യമില്ല. ഈ വർക്ക് ചെയ്യാം. നിങ്ങൾ അല്ലാതെ ടോപ്പ് ആയിട്ടുള്ളതിന് വേണമെങ്കിൽ ചെയ്യാം.
ഓക്കെ, അപ്പൊ ഇതില് പ്രെഡേറ്ററി ജേർണൽസ് ഒന്നും ഡാറ്റ സാധാരണ എടുക്കുന്നില്ല വെബ് ഓഫ് സയൻസിൽ?
ഇല്ല. പ്രെഡേറ്റർ മാത്രമല്ല, ഒരുവിധം പ്രെഡേറ്ററി അല്ലാത്ത സാധാരണ ജേർണൽ പോലും ഇത് ഇൻഡെക്സ് ചെയ്യില്ല. ഇതിൽ ഇൻഡെക്സ് ചെയ്യണമെങ്കിൽ അതിന് അവർ ഒരുപാട് ക്രൈറ്റീരിയ ഉണ്ട്. വെബ് ഓഫ് സയൻസ് ഇൻഡെക്സ് ചെയ്ത ജേർണൽ എന്നൊക്കെ പറഞ്ഞാൽ നല്ല ജേർണലാണ്, സംശയമേ വരില്ല.
ഓക്കെ, താങ്ക് യു സർ.
എന്തെങ്കിലും കമന്റ്?
സാർ, എന്റെ ഡൗട്ട് പെർസ്പെക്റ്റീവ് റിവ്യൂസിനെ കുറിച്ചാണ്. Even though perspective reviews are important, but many journals hesitate to accept and publish such articles due to the lack of supporting evidence. അപ്പൊ അത്തരത്തിലുള്ള നമുക്ക് കിട്ടുന്ന ഒരു ഡാറ്റ വെച്ചിട്ട് നമുക്ക് ഈ പെർസ്പെക്റ്റീവ് റിവ്യൂസിനെ എങ്ങനെ നല്ല രീതിയിൽ പ്രസന്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും?
പെർസ്പെക്റ്റീവ് റിവ്യൂസ് എഴുതാം. പെർസ്പെക്റ്റീവ് റിവ്യൂസ് അങ്ങനെ അക്സെപ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ ചെയ്യാൻ, പക്ഷെ അതിനൊക്കെ ഒരു സ്റ്റാൻഡേർഡ് വേണം. അവർ പറയുന്നത് ആ പെർസ്പെക്റ്റീവ് അത്രത്തോളം സിസ്റ്റമാറ്റിക്. അതാണ് ഞാൻ ഈ പറഞ്ഞ സിസ്റ്റമാറ്റിക് മെത്തേഡ് ഓഫ് ലിറ്ററേച്ചർ റിവ്യൂ എന്നുള്ള ഒരു മാർഗമല്ല. ഞാൻ ഈ സൈറ്റേഷൻ മെത്തേഡാണ് ഞാൻ ഉപയോഗിച്ചത്. ഇതല്ലാതെ മെത്തേഡുണ്ട്. അവര് പറയുന്നത് നമ്മളൊരു ഒരു സിസ്റ്റമാറ്റിക് റിവ്യൂവിൽ എന്തെല്ലാം ചെയ്യണം, 1, 2 എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ സ്റ്റെപ്പുകൾ പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഒരു സിസ്റ്റമാറ്റിക് മെത്തേഡ്. ആദ്യം നമ്മളൊരു ഏരിയ ഡൗൺലോഡ് സെലക്ട് ചെയ്തു, അതിൽ പേപ്പർ നോക്കി, അതിന്റെ പെർസ്പെക്റ്റീവ്സ്, അതിന്റെ മെയിൻ പേപ്പർ ഐഡന്റിഫൈ ചെയ്തു, അത് ആദ്യം ഒരു പ്രാവശ്യം വായിക്കണം എന്നൊക്കെ പറഞ്ഞൊരു മെത്തേഡുണ്ട്. പക്ഷെ അതൊക്കെ സാധാരണ ഒരാളിന്റെ ആസ്പെക്ട് അനുസരിച്ചാണ് വായിച്ചെഴുതുന്നത്. ഇതൊരു സോഫ്റ്റ്വെയർ ചെയ്യുന്നതാണ്. അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് ഞാൻ ഇത് പ്രിഫർ ചെയ്യുന്നത്. അങ്ങനെ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഒരു പെർസ്പെക്റ്റീവ് കൊണ്ടുവരാം. പെർസ്പെക്റ്റീവ് ഷുഡ് ബി വാലിഡേറ്റഡ്, സബ്സ്റ്റാൻഷിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്യണം. അതിന് സബ്സ്റ്റാൻഷിയേറ്റ് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ അത് നിങ്ങൾ പറയുന്ന പെർസ്പെക്റ്റീവ് ശരിയാണെന്നുള്ളതിന് ഈ ജേർണലിൽ നിന്ന് എവിഡൻസ് കൊടുക്കണം. പിന്നെ ചിലര് പറയുന്നത് വെറും റിവ്യൂ പേപ്പർ എടുത്തുകൂടെ, എങ്ങനെ റിവ്യൂ വേണം, റിവ്യൂവിന് എന്തൊക്കെ വേണം എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ ബുക്കുകളൊക്കെ ഉണ്ട്. റിവ്യൂ പേപ്പറിന് എന്തൊക്കെ സ്റ്റാറ്റിസ്റ്റിക് ഉണ്ടായിരിക്കണം. അത് ചിലര് പറയുന്നത്, പ്രത്യേകിച്ച് സോഷ്യൽ സയൻസ് ആയാലും അവര് പറയുന്ന ഒരു റിവ്യൂ പേപ്പറിൽ ഒരു തിയറി, ഒരു ഫ്രെയിം വർക്ക് ഫോർമുലേറ്റ് ചെയ്തിരിക്കണം. നിങ്ങൾ അതിൽ നിന്നൊരു ഫോർമുലേറ്റ് എന്ത് വായിക്കുന്ന ഒരു ഫ്യൂച്ചർ റിസർച്ച് വിജ്ഞാപനം, അതിനൊരു മോഡലോ ഫോർമുലയ്ക്കോ കൊണ്ടുവരേണ്ടി വരും. അങ്ങനെയാണ് പിന്നെ അങ്ങനെയുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങൾ വേണമെന്നാണ് അവർ പറയുന്നത്. പെർസ്പെക്റ്റീവ് അത് സബ്സ്റ്റാൻഷിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്തിരിക്കണം. അത് ചുമ്മാ വെറുതെ ഒരു നിങ്ങളുടെ ഒപ്പീനിയൻ ഇതാണെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ പോലെ അത് സബ്സ്റ്റാൻഷിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്ത രീതിയിൽ വെല്ലായിട്ട് എഴുതുകയാണെങ്കിൽ അക്സെപ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യും. പെർസ്പെക്റ്റീവ് പേപ്പർ. ഇനി ഒരാൾ അമൃത ചോദിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട് മെന്റലിയെ കുറിച്ച് പറയാം. ഞാൻ പറയാം, മെന്റലിയെ കുറിച്ച് നാളെ പറയാം. മെന്റലിയെ കുറിച്ച് PDF അവൈലബിൾ. Can you please tell us regarding the citation using Mendeley when PDF purpose is not? Actually, ഇതില് നമ്മൾ ഇപ്പൊ ചെയ്ത PDF പേപ്പർ വേണ്ട. ഞാൻ ഇതുവരെ PDF ഒന്നും എടുത്തിട്ടില്ല. നമ്മൾ ആ പേപ്പറിന്റെ അബ്സ്ട്രാക്റ്റിന്റെ ഇൻഫർമേഷൻ മാത്രം എടുത്തിട്ടുള്ളൂ. ഈ PDF വേണ്ട ഈ സൈറ്റേഷൻ ചെയ്യാൻ. മെന്റലി എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ഒരു സൈറ്റേഷൻ മാനേജ്മെന്റ് സോഫ്റ്റ്വെയർ ആണ്. ഒരു ലിറ്ററേച്ചർ മാനേജ്മെന്റ്. ഒരുപാട് പേപ്പർ നിങ്ങളുടെ ബിബ്ലിയോഗ്രാഫി സോഫ്റ്റ്വെയർ ആണ്. ഒരുപാട് പേപ്പർ ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ അതെല്ലാം മാനേജ് ചെയ്യാനുള്ള സോഫ്റ്റ്വെയർ ആണ് മെന്റലി. അല്ലെങ്കിൽ മാർക്ക് ചെയ്തൊക്കെ വയ്ക്കാം, എന്നിട്ട് വെച്ചാൽ പേപ്പർ എഴുതാൻ നേരം ഉണ്ടായി. അതാണ് മെന്റലി. ഇതല്ല. How will we get a PDF? It is something, if it is going to be shared through mail. ഞാൻ ഒരു PDF ഫയൽ ഉണ്ട് ഇന്നിപ്പോ ചെയ്ത് കാണാം. ആ PDF ഫയലിൽ രശ്മി മാമിനെ ഫോർവേഡ് ചെയ്തേക്കാം, മെയിൽ ചെയ്തേക്കാം, നാളെ അത് ഷെയർ ചെയ്യും. ഓക്കെ. പിന്നെ ഫീഡ്ബാക്ക് ഓക്കെ. PDF I'm going to share. ഓക്കെ. ഇനി എന്തെങ്കിലും സംശയം ഇല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു മെസ്സേജ് കൂടെ പറഞ്ഞു നിർത്താം. ഈ ഒരു പേപ്പർ ഈ അടുത്ത് പബ്ലിഷ് ചെയ്ത പേപ്പറാണ്. ലേണിംഗ് ഓൺ നോളജ് ഡൈനാമിക്സ് പ്രപ്പോസ് ഏർലി വാർണിംഗ് ഫോർ ഇമ്പാക്ട്ഫുൾ റിസർച്ച്. ഇത് ബയോടെക്നോളജി, നിങ്ങളുടെ ഏരിയയാണ്. ബയോടെക്നോളജിയിലെ 1980 മുതൽ 2014 വരെ ഉള്ള ഇമ്പാക്ട് ഉള്ള പേപ്പർ ഏതാണെന്ന് ഐഡന്റിഫൈ ആണ്. അത് സാധാരണ നമ്മൾ ഐഡന്റിഫൈ ചെയ്യുന്നത് എങ്ങനെയാണെന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ ഏറ്റവും കൂടുതൽ സൈറ്റേഷൻ ഉള്ളത് ഏറ്റവും ഭയങ്കര വർക്കാണെന്ന് പറയും അല്ലേ. ഏറ്റവും നല്ല പേപ്പറാണെങ്കിൽ അത് ഒരുപാട് സൈറ്റേഷൻ കിട്ടിയെന്ന് പറയും. പക്ഷെ ഒരുപാട് സൈറ്റേഷൻ കിട്ടി എന്ന് വിചാരിച്ച് എല്ലാ പേപ്പറും നല്ലതാവണമെന്നില്ല. ഉദാഹരണത്തിന് ഒരു പേപ്പറിൽ പറഞ്ഞേക്കുന്നത് എല്ലാവരും സൈറ്റ് ചെയ്ത് പറയും ആ മെത്തഡോളജി മോശമാണ്, ആ മെത്തഡോളജി മോശമാണ്, ആ രീതിയിൽ ചെയ്താൽ കിട്ടൂല എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ട് ഒരാൾ പേപ്പർ സൈറ്റ് ചെയ്തൂടെ? അങ്ങനെ വരുമ്പോ ആ പേപ്പർ കൊള്ളില്ല എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടാണ് ഈ സൈറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. അപ്പൊ സൈറ്റ് ചെയ്തത് കൊണ്ട് മാത്രം അത് ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻസ് ആവണമെന്നില്ല. എങ്ങനെ പറഞ്ഞ ഈ ഒരു കഴിഞ്ഞ മാസം പബ്ലിഷ് ചെയ്ത പേപ്പറാണ്, വളരെ റീസെന്റ് പേപ്പറാണ്, നേച്ചർ ബയോടെക്നോളജിയിൽ വന്ന പേപ്പറാണ്. ഈ പേപ്പറിൽ പറയുന്നത് എങ്ങനെയാണ് ഒരു ഏരിയയിലെ ഏറ്റവും ഇമ്പാക്ട് ഉള്ള റിസർച്ച് ഐഡന്റിഫൈ ചെയ്യുന്നതാണ്. ഇമ്പാക്ട്ഫുൾ വർക്ക് ഏറ്റവും